won't. There's Mark Mancini filling in for Brett Grasso today. It's just the two of us. You know, listen, we got the best two, right? If we were gonna have two, it's better to have us two than anybody else. So, Mark, what's up? How you doing? What's up? 1 week. How you surviving without football? You making it through this weekend? You going to meetings? What are you doing here?
Peanut butter and jelly with the two of us today, and I will. Yeah, surviving without football. Watching a lot of hockey. I saw my Pens took out the blue shirts yesterday in Pittsburgh 6-5.
They did. Listen, the Rangers have waved the white flag a couple weeks ago, even though they haven't really made the deals yet. They're the unloading of, Panarin's a hot ticket. Everybody wants Panarin, which he's getting older now. I mean, I don't know how much he's got left, but I guess for a rental, if you're a team that can make a push towards a cup and you need the one extra piece, Panarin's, a good guy to have.
The problem is you could be old like the Penguins are. They've got old guys, but you got to influx speed in there. And the Rangers with Sullivan, and he was with Pittsburgh for quite a while.
Yeah, long time.
This dude doesn't play the young guys. He likes to keep going, going to the well with the older guys, and you wear them out. And it's going to be interesting. I think he'll last one more season in New York before they finally say, you know what, the highest paid coach, we need to send you somewhere else.
I mean, yeah, but now you got to give him a break, right? Because now you're tearing the whole thing out. You're pulling the rug out from under him. It's not going to be his fault that they stink this year. After the trade deadline and whatnot. So
you look back on his, the last three seasons, he didn't get the Penguins in the playoffs. Now he goes to New York. He's not going to get them in the playoffs. So, somewhere along the line, you got to look at the handwriting on the wall. Yay, you got a couple Stanley Cups under your belt, but at the same time,
those were a long time ago.
What have you done? What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, and listen, and the Rangers, the prices they charge, they really. This is now Drury. I look more at Drury's got to go because this is now the second time he sent out this letter to the fans saying, "Hey, listen, sorry, we're not going anywhere. We're going to sell off the team. You're going to have to deal with it and then stick with us through this rebuild." And they're charging you, $200 a pop to go into the Garden and watch this bad hockey team. How much more of that do we have to put up with?
I've always said that, Bob, if you're going to have a piss poor product on the ice or whatever court field, then you need to have, half price, ducats, concessions, stuff like that. They did it in LA when McCourt owned the team. Nobody was going, and they started to cut prices in half. You're going to have to start doing that. Otherwise, these people will become suckers.
Yeah, but it's tough to get these owners to do it when there's 22,000 in the building every night to watch this garbage.
Well,
the people paying it. It's all corporate. It's all tourists. It's the Garden will fill up no matter. They put me and you in the Garden, we'll sell the place out. It just is what it is. It's in Midtown Manhattan. It's Penn Station. There's traffic all over the place. People will go to Madison Square Garden just for the sake of going to Madison Square Garden. The Knicks filled up the place every year.
You know what? Then they shouldn't bitch and moan when your product is inferior.
Fair. That's a fair point. That's
That's the way I look at it. I see the Lakers are out there tonight.
The Lakers. I guarantee that's a $300 ticket. Are they in the Garden tonight? I guarantee. I'll look it up right now, but I guarantee because LeBron, the Lakers. Oh, forget it. It's annoying, and the Knicks are good. Forget Knicks are bad. It's a $200-$300 ticket. It might even be more than that. But
imagine a year ago at this time, this was the day trade for Doncic when they were leaving New York.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere though. That guy was like out of the blue. It was like all of a sudden you woke up and it was like Doncic is on the Lakers. You're like, oh man, I can't believe it. But so the NFL week off, we're a week away from the Super Bowl. NFL making headlines this week. The NFL always makes headlines. That's what they do. They're always in the news. Everybody always cares about the NFL. Some not so good headlines this week. You had Steve Tisch is in the Epstein files. You had Belichick and now here Eli Manning not making the Hall of Fame again this year. Which Eli Manning, that's a travesty. And we could argue that because I'm sure you're on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, well, first though, with Belichick, what do you think? I don't think it's a big deal. Listen, Joe DiMaggio wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, it is a big deal when you win all these Super Bowls and you don't get acknowledged for them. I mean, Kraft, Belichick, Brady, they made the Patriots relevant. I can remember going back to the Grogan Van Egan days when the Patriots were a joke. And what they did there, I mean, how do you not acknowledge a guy that's won that many,
but nobody's saying he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame. Now, he's going to be in
Yeah,
next
but
year.
why?
He's going to be in next year.
Why isn't he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Does it matter? Does it matter? Once you're in, you're in. If I asked you if Joe DiMaggio was a first ballot Hall of Famer, you probably would have told me yes. And I would have said yes until I looked it up.
The way I look at it is a lot of these people are trying to sell papers, trying to be the guy that, lights a fuse and saying, well, I didn't like the guy because he didn't give me an interview or something. We've seen it. We've been in locker rooms.
Yeah.
We've seen the Barry Bonds as being overshadowed and, the steroid issue and all that, and Roger Clemens. I think it's, this whole Hall of Fame thing to me is almost like the Oscars.
It's more of a black eye on the voters than anything. If anything, this helps him out, right? He's more of a likable figure now than he was a week ago because he didn't get in the Hall of Fame. He's going to get in. He's clearly going to get in. Once you get in, you're in, right? Once you're in, you're in. Right. I get it, the first ballot and this and that. That's a big deal now. Nobody's going to remember that 5 years down the line.
Keep Rose out of the Hall, and then all of a sudden you bring in FanDuel to be a proud sponsor of your product. I mean, what? I don't understand it. And now all of a sudden, when the guy's dead, now you're bringing him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and Manny Ramirez is now off the ballot because he used some steroids when he was one of the better hitters of his generation, and Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and all of them.
How come Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame?
Good point. You're right. It's a good point. Because he was the commissioner, and you're right. Yeah. But you're right. He oversaw the whole thing.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about the steroids.
Yeah, right.
He didn't know anything. Yeah, he was trying to save baseball. Yeah.
And to me, Eli Manning, listen, go watch what he did during those 2 runs. He is you're a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. You beat the Patriots and Belichick, by the way, who you just argued is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer twice. The fourth quarters that he had in those games, the road games that he had in the championship games in both San Francisco and Green Bay, and he got his ass kicked in San Francisco worse than I've ever seen any quarterback get his ass kicked, and he won the games, underdogs, on the road, the whole 2-2 thing. Yeah, he had some bad teams down the stretch. He's maybe not a great, nobody's saying he's his brother. He's not his brother.
Right.
Maybe he wasn't as good in the regular season. Eli Manning not being in the Hall of Fame is a travesty to me.
Well, that is. Yeah, exactly. There's another one. I just don't understand who they're picking into these things. And, when you look at it, there's in baseball, it just seems, how is David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, right. David Ortiz was probably a steroid guy, right?
Yeah, how's David Ortiz in the Hall, and then you keep these other guys out? It just doesn't make sense.
No, it's crazy to me. And then so yeah, that the NFL dealing with that, they put a statement. Like the fact that you have to even put out a statement, what are you doing? You picked the voters, right? They didn't vote him in. That's it. End of story. Don't put out a statement because now you're making yourself look bad.
Right. Seattle, New England. Do I really care about Seattle? It would have been good to see the Rams in New England. I think that would have been a better Super Bowl.
Or the Bills.
I don't know, man.
There's not much hype behind the Super Bowl. There's not much excitement. I don't feel much excitement. Now, maybe it picks up this week. It's different. Sometimes it picks up in the week ahead, and I'm sure it will a little bit, but I don't see too much, excitement for Seahawks, Patriots. But, you never know. I think it'll be a pretty good game. I do think we'll get a good game.
I think that if New England, like I said, played the Rams, maybe, one of those upstarts over there, it would have been something. But, it's hard for people to get behind Seattle other than Seattle.
Well, Sam Darnold, right? He played for the Jets. He got New York behind him a little bit. You got the Jets fans seem to be rooting for him. And nobody wants to. Like, if you're not a New England fan, nobody wants New England. We're sick of New England, right? We're done with that. We've seen this Super Bowl before. We saw the Seattle threw it away.
But it's
the 1 yard line.
Vrabel is a good coach, man.
I like Vrabel. I do like Vrabel. And I think he's a good coach. I think New England set up for a long time.
Yeah, but he came in there. This team was 4-12 removed, and look what he's done with them.
Yeah, they were bad. They were like the Giants last year.
Changed the whole culture of the team, and I think that's what's going to happen in New York with Harbaugh. Harbaugh is going to change the culture.
I think so too, and I hope so. But now you got above Harbaugh with the ownership, all this garbage going on. You got the Maras, you got Mara with cancer. He seems like he's in bad shape. You got Steve Tisch now coming out. He's ordering women from Epstein 10 years ago or 12 years ago. That's just like he's ruined, right? I don't think there's not going to be any legal charges because this is a cold case. People don't realize, like, we're just learning about these emails, but these emails came out. The FBI's known about these for years now. They're just dumping them now. So there's not going to be any criminal, but he's a dirty old man. His reputation is ruined. He was doing schoolgirl stuff, being like, oh, did she like me? Did she say anything? She's a 20-year-old woman. Of course she didn't like you. You're a 60-year-old man.
Well, I think and it gets back to the whole thing with the whole, I think if you pay for something, I don't think it's a big problem because then all bets are off.
Fair,
Now, I'm
but I
not
don't know if
saying
he
go out
paid
with.
for it.
I'm saying if they're over the age and whether he's 60 or whatever, if he's paying for it, what's in anybody's concern? Because this has been going on for the turn of the century with
You're right. You're right.
presidents
You're
and
right.
everything.
Forever.
So,
Yeah, forever.
right. And who's it really affecting other than him being if he was a single guy or whatever, then it's like buying a product if
You're
you
right.
want to look at it that
There's
way.
not gonna, and I
But
don't think there's gonna be criminal charges.
when you get drugs and alcohol and gambling and all these other things involved in it, that becomes a bigger issue, and people don't want to address that issue, but they rather point to the infidelity and all that.
You're right, but as far as his reputation goes, right? Like these 20-year-old women, like you're right, and you're right. The girls might have been willing to do it. They might have got paid to do it, whatever it was. They also were probably told he's a big producer. A lot of these girls were actresses,
Right.
and he produced Forrest Gump. He is a big producer. It doesn't get much bigger than Forrest Gump. And he came over here and they slept with him and everything. But it's just grimy. He's a dirty old man. Like you look at like a 20-year-old. I go to the bar now and I'm sitting at the bar and I'll look and I'll be like, yo, how's that girl over there drinking? Did they
Yeah.
even bother to
Yeah.
check her ID? And they're like, she's 25. And I'm like, 25? That's what 25
Yeah.
looks like?
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it, if you look good as you're older, hey, it's eye candy all the way around. But at the same time, I mean, to get on these guys for actually paying for something when it's pretty much legal and they have they're over the age, they get the right to choose whatever they want to do or do. I mean, who the hell are these people asking, what you can do and your reputation and all this? It's almost like going to cities.
It's like a
Some
free
people like to
speech
go
thing,
to
though.
France. Other people like to go to Montreal.
It's like free speech, though. You're right. Because there's not, you could say, you could go outside and start screaming out the N word and saying all types of bad stuff. And nothing's going to happen to you. You're not going to jail because you have freedom of speech. Doesn't mean there's no consequences, though. Doesn't mean you're not going to lose your job. Doesn't mean that people aren't going to look at you a different way. And that's what's the deal here. Like, people are looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, and listen, I get it. Listen, good for him. The 20-some-year-old women, if they're into him, good for him. He's 60-something years old. He's billions of dollars. He owns the Giants and everything. Good for him. But it doesn't look good. And now I don't think the people are talking about kids sell the team. They can't force him to sell the team. You can't do that. He owns the team. He owns part of the team. He's a minority owner.
You see the other idiot out there, Dolan, that should have been let go years ago, and they didn't force him to sell a team.
Exactly. And
he
who they forced
the
Clippers guy, and he wasn't even forced. They they forced him out with like peer pressure type of, you better get out of here. We're not doing anything with you. You're not coming to any of the meetings. You're not involved in this. You're not this, that. So he just kind of had to sell the team. But they can't legally make some. You can't make legally someone make someone sell something that they own.
They made Sterling sell the team.
Sterling, that's what I'm talking about. You can't make some. No, but they didn't legally make him. They peer pressured him into it. We're not including you in anything. Right. You're not getting involved in anything. You don't have votes. You don't have this. You don't have that. And he finally said, you know what? I'm out of here. But legally, you can't make somebody sell something.
Dolan should have been forced to sell a team or kind of pushed out the door too. And I don't know how he escaped the.
Yeah, but Dolan spent money, right? They just made bad choices. Right. Dolan was just bad at what he did.
They've affected a lot of guys too. Oakley and all these other guys. I mean,
Oakley's a bad guy though. Every time Oakley shows up at the Garden, he's fighting security guards. Right? I mean, come on, right? Come on.
pull out the sheet on Dolan too, and it's a long list of guys.
I'm sure. Dolan's not a great guy. Listen, none of these guys are good guys.
Jackson, he's lost some good guys. Riley, Patino. I mean, there's a long list that you kind of you scratch your head and you go wonder how the hell is this guy still around?
And I'm sure Dolan's done some shady stuff too. Listen, all these billionaires think they run the show and the rules don't apply to them.
Another guy that sucked off of daddy's inheritance. That's the way I look at Dolan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, not many people build $1 billion, the $1 billion things themselves. It's hard to do. It's not. It's the reason why there's only a couple of them.
Dolan didn't flip hamburgers after high school.
No, Dolan didn't flip anything. But Dolan didn't even need to go to high school. And he runs the garden. And I heard, and from what I hear, just from reading stuff and people that have met him, he's a jerk. And a lot of them are jerks. A lot of them are jerks. They think who they are. The rules don't apply to them. I own Madison Square Garden. But Oakley is a bad example to bring up. Because every time Oakley shows up at Madison Square Garden, he's fighting the security guards. He's drunk or something. Like Oakley's not the one I'd bring up to be like, okay, well, they're
Well,
getting a
there's
raw deal over there.
well, Oakley's the one that's got the real running feud with them. That's the reason brought up. But
And by the
Oakley's
way,
got running.
you want to go see the Knicks and the Lakers? The cheapest in the building, get in the building price is $480.
Who the hell's walking around with that kind of money? You think, huh?
$480.
I mean, Bob, that's crazy.
Get in the building. That's like upstairs behind the hoop.
I'm not a cheap guy, but man, I'm seeing myself
$480
now.
for a February game, NBA game.
Let me tell you something. You tell me the difference is sitting outside Madison Square Garden with a TV, getting that beamed outside, or sitting in the high rafter seat in the garden.
It's not for a February game. No. Yeah. Listen, Super Bowl's going for $20,000, between $5,500 and $20,000, and those face values. You went to the Super Bowl?
I went to the Super Bowl in '82, I think it was. Redskins, Dolphins, Fulton Walker, 91 yard kickoff return.
Was that the Riggins run where you see him running?
I got in there, and I keep in touch with a good friend of mine that I grew up with. And we went with another guy. We got in there, honest to God, and my father sold $20. $20 each.
From what I understand, it used to be like you could walk around outside the stadium, like right around kickoff, and get tickets for like $40, $50, whatever it was, cheap, because there'd be a lot of Super Bowl tickets floating around.
$20, Redskins, Dolphins.
And the Redskins won, right?
Redskins won 27-17. I remember.
Is that the one where you see Riggins running? It's the shot from the end zone where he's running at the camera, and it's like slow motion. The NFL films.
I think so. But it wasn't.
Who was
Dan
the MVP
Marino in that one? David Woodley was the quarterback of Miami.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it was okay. And who was the MVP?
The next year was Marino.
Who was the MVP? Oh, the Dolphins went back to back.
I think the MVP was Riggins.
Yeah, I think it was Riggins. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Boy, Riggins was a horse. He played
That's something, though. Where was the game?
Pasadena.
Oh, the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
That's a big place. That's 100,000. That's something not many people hate. Listen, that's a cool thing.
$20. I've been to an NBA championship, Lakers, Celtics. The only two things in baseball I haven't done: catch a foul ball and been to a World Series. And I've done both.
I've done both. I've caught a foul ball and I've been to a World Series.
Who hit the foul ball?
Oh, I don't know. I've caught a couple of them. I got lucky. I caught one last year in spring training. I caught one, but like I've caught a couple of them. Like I don't know, and like it's not like I'm going up and making the catch either. I'm not catching the foul balls. I get the foul balls.
I caught a home run ball.
Okay.
I've seen a perfect game.
Listen, that's pretty cool.
And then I seen a no hitter, and I almost saw a second no hitter. So perfect game was amazing.
Yeah. Well, who's perfect game? Who's perfect game?
Martinez of the Expos, 2-0.
Oh, okay. In Montreal?
No, LA, 1993.
Okay. I've seen a couple like close no hitter. I saw Bobby Jones throw a one hitter in the playoffs against for the Mets against the Giants. But and I've been to the World Series and and it was a World Series clincher too. I saw the Royal
All-Star game.
Okay. I've been to the All-Star weekend thing. I never went to the game.
I've also been to the All-Star game in hockey and in basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, real fast. I had Djokovic today to win the Aussie.
Yeah, he does. I was up. Listen, I'm falling asleep here because I was up at 3 a.m. watching it. I think Djokovic, after going 5 hours the night before or 2 nights ago, and you're going against a 21-year-old kid who went 5 hours the night before, because he dominated the first set. Djokovic dominated the first set, and then he just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, nobody's gonna touch his record for slams.
No, he still needs the one. He still needs one more, though. I think he gets it. I think he gets it somewhere 25. This year, maybe U.S. Open, maybe, something like that. But it's going to be tough. Alcaraz is tough. And I don't like Alcaraz, but Alcaraz is tough. And he's good. And he's already got the career slam now. And he's 21 years old.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I think the guy that's better than Alcaraz is Sinner.
Sinner's right there.
But those two guys combined have won the last 9.
And Zverev is the guy that the third wheel, because he can't crack it. I mean, he gave everything he had against Djokovic in that semifinal, and against Alcaraz in that semifinal, and he just couldn't crack it. He couldn't beat him. He had match points, serving for the match.
My favorite guy growing up was Andy Roddick. I loved it, but he grew up in the wrong decade. Yeah,
he was a disappointment though. One grand. I mean, he's the last American to win the U.S. Open, but that's forever ago.
he couldn't get past Sampras and all those guys in that decade. I mean, he was just born in the wrong
Yeah,
decade.
yeah. You're right. Because there's usually 2 or 3 guys that just are there every tournament. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. And this now
But
it's Sinner and it's
the
Alcaraz.
the goats in tennis: Djokovic, Nadal,
Federer. Federer is the
they're
best
the
I've
goats.
ever seen. I think just the ease he did it with. I loved Federer. I was a big I like Jimmy. The way you know how I got into tennis was the Jimmy Connors run when he was an old man back at the U.S. Open in like 90 something, and he made that run to the quarters. Agassi was good too. Agassi was good.
McEnroe.
Sampras was better though.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have good tennis here in America.
Sampras was kind of like the Oscar De La Hoya tennis. Nobody really, we kind of grew up with Vinny Pazienza and Roberto Duran, and then, Sampras to me was, he just reminded me of the guy that, before he came to pick up the racket, he got the manicure and pedicure.
Yeah. He wasn't flashy. He came out of the country club kind of thing. That's what I got you. All right, Mark Mancini, XM Radio.
I love you, brother. Hey, next week we got the gang back.
We got Super Bowl. We got the gang back. It'll be Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be here. We'll see you. You will be here. Mark, if you scrape together $500, let me know. I'll see you at the Garden tonight.
I love you, brother. Send me the thing, baby. I love you, man.
Later, Mark. Later, buddy.
Thank you.
Mark Mancini right there, everybody. Mark Mancini, the great Mark Mancini, XM Radio. Thank you for coming on. That pretty much does it for us here today. Again, we just wanted to go over some Super Bowl stuff, our regular Sunday show. We will have a long one next week as it'll be Super Bowl Sunday. We'll preview the game. We're going to be talking about the game throughout the week as well. And if you haven't checked this out, check out Brett and myself. We were on the Subway to Shea podcast earlier this morning live. It was a live stream, but you can get it now. YouTube, Facebook. I think I shared it. If I didn't, I will on Facebook. Twitter, everywhere. It's on everywhere. So it was a good time talking with our friend Anthony Rivera about some Mets baseball, as that's coming up soon too. So that does it for us. I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. Talk to you later, everybody. See ya.